The world doesn't change, but the place you are looking from does change. The change is an inner shift, as within, so without. So we think that we're talking about two different worlds, heaven and hell. We think we're talking about two different realities, two different truths. But in fact, there is one reality, but it's obscured, it's covered. And so the challenge in the first 90 days and throughout this whole year is to start to unravel and unwind what is covering the real world from being perceived by you. There is an inner intent that's covering it. In lesson 90, the two perceptions are laid bare. And the lesson is a review of lessons 79 and 80. And it brings us back to this idea that there could possibly be many problems when there is actually one problem. The many problems comes from this false perception of the world as separate. The one problem comes from a unified perception as one. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. It first starts with a recognition of the problem. What is the problem and what is covering it? First, the lesson deals with what is covering it. Let me realize today that the problem is always some form of grievance that I would cherish, some form of judgment that I would hold dear. That is what is causing the idea that there are many problems with their complexities and that the solutions are nowhere to be found. Let me also understand that the solution is always a miracle with which I let the grievance be replaced. Today, I would remember the simplicity of salvation by reinforcing the lesson that there is one problem and one solution. The problem is a grievance. The solution is a miracle. Now, a miracle is a shift in perception. So keep in mind that a miracle is still an awareness within this semblance of a reality. Because in heaven, miracles are not needed. We just know. There is just truth. But miracles is a halfway point. It's an intermediary that the Holy Spirit allows us to shift our perception from a place of grievance to something that is hopeful. It's a happy dream, but it's still a dream. And I invite the solution to come to me through my forgiveness, because remember, the way to let go of judgments and grievances is through forgiveness of the grievance and my welcome of the miracle that takes its place. So when you hear about recognition, realization, it is an invitation, but it's a welcoming. You allow yourself to receive what has always been there. Has always been there. The miracle is right in front of you. The miracle is you. And you allow yourself to acknowledge, receive, and accept. Specific applications of this idea might be in these forms. This presents a problem to me, which I would have resolved. So you have a commitment to resolve the problems instead of giving up and thinking they're insurmountable. The problems are always going to exist. They're always going to be there. Let's just take the problem of struggle. The problem of what causes you tension and what brings you peace. So I want you to reflect on the subtle nature of a noticing, an awareness that your peace has been taken away by a tension. And just become aware. It's an observation. It is not a judgment. Become aware of the times throughout the day in which you notice that your peace is taken away by a tension. A tension. The miracle behind this grievance will resolve it for me. The answer to this problem is the miracle that it conceals. The answer to this problem is the miracle that it conceals. Then in lesson 80, let me recognize my problems have been solved. Let me recognize my problems have been solved. I seem to have problems only because I am misusing time. Problems are found in time. A miracle is also found in time, but it's pointing to eternity. It's pointing to something that is constant. Time points to what is not constant, what is constantly changing, what is impermeable, and what is temporal. I believe that the problem comes first, and time must elapse before it can be worked out. Simple enough. That's how we look at life. It's a linear process. I have a problem. Time must elapse before it gets worked out. I do not see the problem and the answer as simultaneous in their occurrence, which is the nature of God's time, the appointed time, in which the problem and the answer are occurring simultaneously. They just haven't yet been recognized by our egoic mind. That is because I do not yet realize that God has placed the answer together with the problem so that they cannot be separated by time. So it is a decision and a realization that the problem has already been solved because the problem only exists in my mind, and my mind has created a sense of time for the problem to be solved. The problem must be solved in the future when the problem has already been solved and therefore does not exist. The Holy Spirit will teach me this if I will let him. And I will understand it is impossible that I could have a problem which has not been solved already. So you decide. If that statement is true, and if you adopt it as true, that it is absolutely impossible that you could have a problem which has not been solved already. It's just waiting for you to recognize that the problem has already been solved. These forms of the ideas are, I need not wait for this to be resolved. I need not wait for a miracle. I need not wait for my awakening. All you need to do is accept it now. I need not wait to let go of the struggle. I can let go of the struggle now. I need not wait for all these symbols in life that gives us a sense of worth. I need not wait for me to have a certain amount of money before I jump in and follow my bliss. I need not wait before I get that promotion, before I step into my own greatness. I need not wait because I have it all already. The kingdom of heaven is within you, and the kingdom of heaven does not lack anything. The answer to this problem is already given me if I will accept it. And lastly, time cannot separate this problem from its solution. Time cannot separate this problem from its solution. So that is lesson 90, and tomorrow we're going to go into lesson 91. We're going to be taking a break from reviews and instead just jump in to the idea of truly, what is a miracle and how do you see one? Thank you.